Hey everyone, this is Spydeco64 back here once again. And oh boy, I've been slacking a bit on these Star Wars episode reviews and all that sort of stuff. Particularly more of the Bad Batch, since I didn't really get to review not last week's episode, but the week before, which was, I think the episode was titled Pabu, basically episode 13, and then episode 14, Tipping Point. So what's going to happen in today's video is that we're going to combine those two episode reviews together. So we can decipher as to whether or not really, how should we say this? Really kind of decipher if episode 13 was considered filler. Now, I kind of want to go ahead and just straight up right here and just say this. I didn't really enjoy episode 13 that much. Pabu. It's basically, I like what they were going for. And that is the Bad Batch have basically decided to stay, or heck, maybe even the Bad Batch have decided that they're going to stay in a very remote location away from the Empire and basically just sit down and basically just retire from being soldiers and all that sort of stuff. And to also possibly even give Omega a normal childhood, because really, unlike them, they were raised to be soldiers. While Omega, while she wasn't really raised much to be a soldier, and all that sort of stuff. Hell, she's basically one of a kind of clone and all that sort of stuff. So, and whatnot, sort of have you. But I don't know. It's just that the episode just didn't do it for me. Like, this is just me being honest. Like, really, I think it really kind of would have been, I don't know, maybe I don't really know how you would have done this episode, but it was just, I don't know. It was just, I don't want to really use the word filler, kind of because, I don't really kind of consider filler, but really it felt like they ran out of ideas to just fill in the 16 episode deadline mark that probably Disney ordered and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, there was that. However, though, I want to talk about episode 14, that being called Tipping Point. So Tipping Point is another interesting episode. Heck, even basically this episode basically is going to set up basically the season finale, which of course is coming out tonight and all that sort of stuff. So today's video review is pretty much going to focus more on that. So what happens here is that we get some confirmations as to what has been going on with several characters that, we didn't really know the fates of and all that sort of stuff, particularly that being Captain Hauser. Now, in last season, Captain Hauser basically resigned from the Empire, basically called them out and all that sort of stuff, while the Bad Batch were on that little adventure on, what was it? They were on a little adventure in, damn it, the Twi'lek homeworld. Ryloth, yeah, Ryloth. I forgot it for a minute, but yeah, basically Hauser was on Ryloth before he was arrested, along with a whole bunch of other clones. And from it looks like here that he's being transported from an Imperial prison, we don't really know where, off to Mount Tantiss, where a bunch of other clones are also being located at. And the same thing also is going on for Crosshair as well, and all that sort of stuff. So, they're about to get transported off to, as I said before, off to Mount Tantiss, where they will meet their fate, or they will meet their demise. However, though, then coming out of hyperspace is Gregor and Echo leading a squad, a very small squad of other clone troopers trying to break them out and all that sort of stuff. And it's this really cool scene of them fighting against the TK troopers and all that sort of stuff. They try to ask the Imperial officer where they're going and all that sort of stuff, but then he kills himself with the little thing in his mouth that the Imperials have to kill themselves, not to get any vile information, which is very annoying. But it's probably annoying for them, but just not maybe for the audience, as well, and all that sort of stuff. As the audience, we already know that basically they're going to Mount Tantus and all that sort of stuff. But it's just like it's annoying for the characters in general. Okay, so anyways, what happens is that they're able to get the clone troopers, well, the rest of the clones, along with Captain Hauser, out of their little prison cell, and then they quickly are able to escape, and they go back to Coruscant, and all that sort of stuff, where they're still hanging out in the Martez sister garage, which thankfully they're still not there. I kind of feel like that they did not include the Martez sisters here was just because of the backlash that everyone gave to these characters. I honestly just really think that's just really what was happening, and all that sort of stuff. Was that was the Martez sisters. Everyone hated them so much that Dave Filoni was probably like, okay, let's just not include them and all that sort of stuff and whatnot, sort of have you. But anyways, though, what happens next here is that Echo, while he was on the ship, was able to get some of the ship's files. However, though, he wasn't able to get all of them. However, though, he does know of someone who, of course, can crack the codes and all that sort of stuff. And, of course, as he does that, he, of course, gives this information to Senator Suchi, who, of course, was the main senator that was trying to fight for the clones' rights and all that sort of stuff in the Senate, which, let's be very honest here, the Imperial Senate is just basically the power of the Senate means shit. It means jack shit. And basically that power all goes to Palpatine and, all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, and whatnot, sort of have you. So anyways, what happens here is that Echo now has to go off to Pabu so he can get tech to, of course, encrypt the file. And while they're there, the Bad Batch seem to have a very good time on Pabu and all that sort of stuff. And one other thing also, too, that's going on around this time as well is that Crosshair from the previous episode, The Outpost, is, of course, still a prisoner of basically, is basically still a prisoner in Mount Tantus and all that sort of stuff. And they're trying to get information out of him to basically know, hey, where's the Bad Batch and all that sort of stuff. And what's kind of funny here is that he genuinely just does not know where they are. Like, no, he just doesn't know where they are, because they literally left him on a landing platform in the last at the end of the season 1 finale. So kind of funny how they're just torturing him with the Dr. Ball MD droid, and they're just nonstop torturing him when he just doesn't know anything. The Empire are just retarded sometimes. That's just it. They're just stupid. Like, genuinely, the Empire are just a bunch of dumbasses. So what you gonna do? But anyways, though, what happens here, though, is that Crosshair is able to escape, and Homie literally takes the blaster from the 2 stormtroopers, or from the 2 TK troopers, blasts one in the back, blasts one in front of him, and is able to get out, and all that sort of stuff. And one thing that I also really wanted to point out that was very interesting was that one of the doctors that is with Crosshair, the female scientist, if you all don't remember, in the episode, she actually, I'm not too sure about her, but one thing that I noticed about her was that she didn't call Crosshair by his number, CT9904 is his number. No, he actually called him Crosshair, which kind of shows that this particular person actually kind of views the clones as actual kind of people, even if they're a prisoner and all that sort of stuff. I don't know. I find that kind of odd and all that sort of stuff. But anyways, though, what happens is that Crosshair stuns, actually, interestingly enough, the doctor, and is able to send out a message to the Bad Batch and all that sort of stuff, which, of course, he's not able to send out the full message, as he is then infected with some poison gas, which to the doctor, the main doctor character that we see here, it does not affect him. And I gotta really say, this Doctor character right here is one creepy bastard. He is creepy as hell. You know, he's not a Sith. He's just a normal human, but he just has this low, villainous voice that is just like, holy crap, man. Like, wow. Like, I mean, holy shit. But anyways, though, what happens here is that Crosshair is able to send out a message, of course, to the Bad Batch, and Tech is able to encrypt it and is able to decipher that Crosshair is a prisoner, and basically the fact also too that the Empire wants Omega and all that sort of stuff. Now, I'm pretty sure in the finale they're gonna figure out where Crosshair is at. I'm pretty sure they could put 2 to 2 together, that Crosshair's on Mount Tantus, that one planet where we saved Gregor at, and all that sort of stuff back last season, and all that sort of stuff. So they'll probably do that, and then the episode ends with Crosshair being tortured and the Bad Batch theme, the normal theme, being played in the background. It's like you know what's funny to me? It's just like, why do you have why do you have one of the characters being tortured, and then at the end the end credits is just like, why? Like, just why? That's like the exact same. That's the exact same that happened in the Fives episode when he gets killed by Fox in the Fives arc. He's then killed, and then the Clone Wars theme just starts playing. It's just, I don't know. And actually, that was kind of a George Lucas thing too, was that in almost all the end credits to the Clone Wars, it was just the Clone Wars theme. And that was a George Lucas thing. The only time in the Clone Wars before we got season 7, or before we got season 6 and 7, was when Ahsoka walked away from the Jedi and all that sort of stuff. Then there was sad music at the end, but I don't know. But anyways, though, guys, that was Bad Batch episode 13 and 14. So one episode that felt really kind of dumb, and then another one that basically is setting up the final arc of the season. So anyways, though, guys, let's do it. It is currently, like, what is it currently right now? I'm gonna check my time. I don't think I can, but it's about 5 o'clock here in California. We got like 7 hours left, so for us to watch the finale. Of course, I'm gonna watch that and the Mando episode as well. And this is the last week where we have Bad Batch and Mando at the same time. So sad. But anyways, though, guys, I'm excited. And tell me down in the comments below, are you also excited for the season finale of the Bad Batch? Anyways, though, I know one thing for sure is that coming, of course, tomorrow, I'm going to talk all about it. Same thing goes with Mando, and we'll go from there. So, thank you all so much for watching, and we will see all of you in the next video. Bye, all.